What is up, ladies and gents? It's your boy Lou Streets, and I am back with another video. And in this video, I want to focus on this tweet that has been floating around from the homie Synicus. But before I get to it, I first want to fixate on the tweet by Splash because I had an epiphany since I've been playing Mortal Kombat 11 again. And these two things kind of confirm it, and then Max reviewing it kind of confirms it as well. So let's go through it and see what I'm talking about. So in the first tweet, it's a player named Splash going off about Kung Lao's design in Mortal Kombat 1. His tweet reads, "I just want to know who designed Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat 1. His entire game plan was reduced to this garbage. I miss MK11 Lao in every aspect. So fucking sick of the way they treated this character to this degree in Mortal Kombat 1. Just wanted to get that off my chest. Sorry if I sound negative." Now, it's funny that he said this because it was actually Kung Lao that made me have the epiphany that I actually had since I've been playing Mortal Kombat 11 again. So let's go back to my tweet when I responded to this. This was the epiphany that I had. I'm going to read it from bottom to top because I was tweeting in order, right? So the epiphany that I had was, after going back and playing Mortal Kombat 11 this week, I've realized what made this game feel so much better than MK1 is the characters have so much personality in their attacks. It makes them feel like who they are said to be origin-wise, and I think I'm going to make a video on it. So this will be that video, right? So we continue on. The animation themselves makes them feel like who they are. My example was I was playing Kung Lao, and I did his F214 string. You know, that's the string where he spins forward with the hat, knees you with the opposite leg, and then kicks the hat into you. You can get a crushing blow on that. So it says, the example, Kung Lao F214 string. He spin attacks with the hat, knees you with the opposite leg, then kicks the hat towards you to the end of the string. It looks and feels like an attack that only Kung Lao can do. I said some more, but it's not important because it's in show more. And then it says, and it's a lot of characters that have those basic attacks in MK1, but no character defining moves that feel like only said character who would do that, excluding the ones with weapons like General Shao, Kenshi, Ajra, and Melina, right? That's where MK11 shined at. Character personality was at the forefront more than anything else. Now, it was funny because I said this, and then Synicus' tweet kind of draws this out with actual demonstrations. So let's take a look at that. Now, in Synicus' tweet, he's talking about stiffness. So he's not necessarily talking about character expression. However, I feel that the stiffness is kind of the same thing as character expression, like it goes hand in hand. Because, for instance, in Mortal Kombat 11, you had big bodies like Shao Kahn or Kodo Kahn who attack with aggression and a lot of power. But then you can have certain characters like Jackie, Liu Kang, Sonya Blade. They attack with a little more speed, and then depending on what their play style was, that affected like their input. So like Sonya had mix, Jackie could fly through the air, Liu Kang with very strong grounded martial arts, Jax with the bink bink. Just certain characters really had a lot of personality in their moves. Now Synicus is talking about stiffness, so let's see what he's saying. This is what I mean when it comes to MK1 being super stiff compared to the last Mortal Kombat game. So he's gonna go through this, so let's take a look. We got, let's open it up. We got Mortal Kombat 9 Liu Kang, Mortal Kombat X Liu Kang, MK11 and MK1. So let's take a look at what he has. All right, that was a sexy combo for MK9 Liu Kang. Let's see Mortal Kombat X. Now see, of all these games, that's probably the most extreme character expression right there, but I'm not super fond of the graphics, but let's go to Mortal Kombat 11. Now, granted, of all of these, Mortal Kombat 11 probably looks the most simple, but it's obviously the most beautiful game as far as presentation goes. You got Liu Kang making his sound effects. You got his flame on his attack. So I would say MKX did the same thing that MK11 did as far as better when it comes to like gameplay, but the presentation of it and the personality of it is just a lot more cooler to me in Mortal Kombat 11. I know some people may not agree with that, but it is what it is. Let's watch that one more time. So the most basic, well, we got the amp fireball and then we got the amp flying kick that kind of adds a little more flair. But obviously, as far as style goes, MK9 and MKX were the best as far as style goes. But I think player expression is where we get a lot of the shine in Mortal Kombat 11. Let's see what Mortal Kombat 1 has to offer. Okay, so when talking about stiffness, of them all, you could probably say Mortal Kombat 1 is the most stiff because it's the slowest, even though technically the combo that was done was much more sexier than the MK11 Liu Kang combo. But I think the strings themselves is where MK11 shines. Like the strings as far as character expression, I think that's where that game shines. For the swag, you got MKX. For presentation, you got MK11. And then for MK9, I don't really like comparing that to these because these games are just newer, so they just look better in general. Like you can compare MK9, but I think because the graphics are so low on the totem pole of the three games when it comes to MK9, it's hard to compare that, especially when you got a little better graphics and swag in MKX. But I think MK11 offers the best personality and strings. So Max ends up catching the wind of this tweet by Synicus, and he speaks on it himself. So let's see what Max has to say. And now we have Max here, and he's caught wind of Synicus's tweet. I'm going to let this play for a bit.
This is what I mean about MK1 being super stiff compared to the last Mortal Kombat games.
So these are the same clips from Synicus. Let's see what Max thinks about this.
And I'd say MK9 is relatively normal speed, right? To me, this is normal speed game.
Max is fixated on the speed of the game. I'm more or less focused on the style or the character expression as far as the character origin himself, not the player expression. Don't get this confused.
Cancels and juggles.
I'm not talking about player expression, which is what you see with the combo. I'm talking about character expression.
MK9 is a very fast game, dude. Blitzkriegingly fast.
So MK10 stupid fast,
MK11,
right?
Still a fast game, right? Still comparatively speaking, quick. Is it the same quickness as MKX? No, but you need to be reminded, this game was not particularly slow.
Yeah, it really wasn't. When I go back and play, it wasn't. You can't do as much, but I think this is the character expression, not player expression, character expression.
This is what his combos are currently like. Bum 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 bum. You know, my issue is that MK1 has that problem where it's like the rhythm of the game, the rhythm of like how attacks land and are confirmed, is the same for nearly everybody. This one responsive, but obviously a little bit slower. But now the characters can't do shit. So what you see is the same thing constantly. It's just an uninteresting game to play. See, the irony about this particular part is that this is where me and Max disagrees the most, because he says like the characters can't do shit. So he's talking about like combos and like, you know, doing like sexy shit, right? But I'm focused on like character expression. I think as far as the presentation goes and the character expression for who they're supposed to be origin-wise, I think this game captures that the best, from the way that they talk, the way that they attack, the way that they interact with each other as far as intros and dialogue. I think this game just captures that to the T. And granted, I realized it when I was playing Kung Lao and doing the F214 string, but that's when it dawned on me. The game shines because the characters have so much personality. So it's like, if I really love Liu Kang, I can get deep into what his characteristics are and kind of almost develop like my identity to be a fan of him around that. Where in Mortal Kombat 1, there's just not a lot of character personality. You have these combos that get assisted by cameos, and to some extent, while that does look cool, it kind of takes away from me being able to enjoy Liu Kang, because I'm using Liu Kang, but I'm adding in Movado. I'm using Liu Kang, but I'm adding in Serena. You know what I'm saying? I'm using Scorpion, but I'm adding in assist cameo Scorpion. So it's not the same as just loving Hanzo for being Hanzo, since now he's Kuai Liang, and ironically, the Scorpion cameo is actually Hanzo, right? So it's those kind of things that really hit me when I was playing Mortal Kombat 11 this week. But let's let Max finish up, then I'll get to my last point. Beautiful game, best presentation, but it's like a double-edged sword. Best presentation, well, maybe that's the wrong descriptor.
No, I think he's right about that. It's the best presentation. When I think presentation, I just think everything that epitomizes the character. So not just the combos, you know, the actual strings, the sounds that he make, the mannerisms in which they do their intros and their outros, the mannerisms which they do their taunt between rounds. It's so many things about this particular game that really lets you develop love for the character. Even when it came to like the Melina stands and they wanted her in the game, they wanted her badly. Like they were petitioning for Melina to be in the game. And then when Melina got introduced, very ballerina-like, but still very vicious with the Tarkatan style mouth, you know what I'm saying? Had the size, but extremely acrobatic. It's like everything about this game feels like Melina. And it's funny because a lot of people think that Melina is low tier in this game, but as far as like her style, her swag, that in between talk that she has when she kind of like maneuvers her body in that sexy way, like, but Melina is very sexy and ballerina like and athletic until she takes off the mask, and then it's like she's a vicious, blood hungry beast. That is what this game captured so much better than all the other games, and I think that Mortal Kombat 1 is definitely lacking in that area.
Best presentation, but the one I want to play the least. Absolutely.
And it's funny that Max says that because that's the game he likes the least, and this is the one that I like the most for that exact same reason. He's kind of talking about like gameplay and, you know, combos and like creativity. That's what makes him want to play the other games more. Character expression, not player expression. Don't get this confused. Player expression is about what you can do as a player with your combos and your assaults. I'm talking about character expression, which is just me developing an affinity for this character's personality and origin. That's what makes me want to play Mortal Kombat 11 the most. That's what I realized this past week. Let him finish up.
Oh, okay, gameplay is getting a little bit better, and there's more things the character can do, and it is a pretty game, but why the hell is everything so slow? Why is everything so slow? What the hell's going on? So, I don't know, man.
So this is kind of what I realized when I was going back to play Mortal Kombat 11. First of all, just look at the presentation of the characters. Like, look at just the stances, you know what I'm saying? Look at the small details. You can see the frost coming off of Sub-Zero's hands, even though his hands are covered up, right? You look at Kung Lao's stance. Look at the sharpness of his hat, how wide the brim is, just very small things. Then, like, if you get into the strings, nobody else in the game is doing that style of string except Kung Lao, right? Just dope strings like that. Like, that's all his personality, you know? Dive kick still looks pretty cool. Teleport looks really cool. Like, just the small things. Tossing the hat coming up on the other side. Shaolin grab. Like, this feels like Kung Lao. It feels like nobody else in the game can do these moves. They don't feel like just basic attacks, right? So even like another example with Liu Kang and Scorpion. If you look at Liu Kang, obviously he's our Bruce Lee variant, but you see he's just bouncing around, ready to go. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the sand be water. Like, Liu Kang is very loose, very calm, always ready to attack, very agile. When he bounces around, you see the things on his clothing swinging around. Versus Scorpion, very emotionless, very stoic, spear in hand, katana blades ready to go. You know what I'm saying? His attack style, using the katana with back one, teleport. You know what I'm saying? Or even like this string right here. Push the spear around your neck, push you back in Oki. That feels like Scorpion, right? The teleport feels like Scorpion. Back three, see, back three could be more generic to anybody because Gears has something like that as well. But like, it's just these small little things. Throws out the spear, pulls out the katana. Like, there was so much personality in their attacks versus how it is in Mortal Kombat 1. From their attacks to their appearance to their dialogue, it just felt like only this character can do what he does. Versus in Mortal Kombat 1, I could say that some of Liu Kang's and Li Mei's 1-2 attacks are similar, or like characters that use straight hands. Where in this game, everything felt uniquely individualistic, and that's kind of what's missing when it comes to Mortal Kombat 1. And this really didn't hit me until I went back and played it, because I'm not talking about graphics. I'm not talking about which game looks better. I'm not talking about which game plays better. I'm just talking about the ability to develop an affinity towards the character because you enjoy what they do and you enjoy their origin. That was really, really prevalent in this game. And just like, even if we just look at presentation, I don't really mean what's better. I mean what feels like Mortal Kombat. Like when you watch this game, just look at it. You got a dragon in the background and he's dripping water out of his mouth. But if you notice, look at the grass on the dragon. It feels extremely atmospheric because we're in the Wuxi Dragon Grotto. You can see the scales on his side over here. You can see the dragon's face with the waterfall coming out. If we go to other parts of the screen and you just look in the background, I mean, just more dragons over here. You know, the water has a glow to it. It's moving, it's flowing. This just feels like a Mortal Kombat universe. And that comes down to the atmosphere, but more so to the characters because you can just develop an identity towards them. I feel like that's genuinely what's missing in Mortal Kombat 1, whether it's meant to be another game or not. And I think what Max is saying about speed of combos kind of goes hand in hand with what I'm saying, and it's ironic because it's the game he likes the least and the game that I like the most. But from a presentation and a character expression perspective, I think that's where this game really shines, and I think that's where Mortal Kombat 1 just completely dropped the ball. Because even in the past games, the gameplay was fun enough and the characters look cool enough where you could enjoy it. But it's like now the combos are bink, bink, bop, bop, just like Max said. They're very stiff, just like Synicus said. And I think that's why that particular tweet of his took off. So the last characters I decided to pick just to demonstrate this again was Fujin and Rain. And it's because, I mean, if you look at Fujin, he looks like an anime character, right? Even just small stuff like that. When you're standing idle, how he pulls the blade out the sheath, then puts it back in, right? Just small things like that just felt like, okay, these characters are really who they say that they are. They're not character swaps, gender bends, like even like small things like that. You see when Rain does his idol, just a little bit of rain on the wrist, a little bit of water on the wrist comes out, right? If you do Fujin string, like look at that, very Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragonish, but like it shows you he's the wind god. Like this type of shit was cool, man. Back throw, puts you in the wind, tornado spins you out. Forward throw, uses the wind, the oxygen in your lungs to pull out of you and then knock you backward. I mean, everything on this game was just so personality based, and I realized it like last week, and I think that Mortal Kombat 1 is cooked, right? Like, I don't want to bash Mortal Kombat 1 because, as I said, I'm not here to bash Mortal Kombat 1 anymore. But what I'm saying is, like, it's just cooked in regards to presentation. Like, bro, this type of shit was swaggy. Like, just pressing down up with him, and he just floats on wind. What is cool like that in Mortal Kombat 1? So when I say player expression and shit like that, this is all I'm talking about. This is all I'm talking about. Just dope-ass expression. I think this is really where Mortal Kombat 11 shined, was everything was so personality based, where we didn't feel that the game was rushed even if they didn't fully finish it. When they talked about like balancing, you know, moves and stuff like that, like the stuff that Tom was talking to me about yesterday, that they was talking about balancing, even if they didn't finish that type of stuff, the reason we enjoyed this game was because of shit like this. It was character expression. If I was a person who wanted to play a wind god that was really swaggy with a sword and can float around and do cool shit like this, I would be 100% satisfied with Fujin. As a matter of fact, I remember this player named Shinless that I would see on Twitter sometime. He was like a Fujin god. He played Fujin in such a swaggy way, it would make me watch Fujin and be like, damn, I kind of want to play him too. And I think that's where the main place that MK1 drops the ball and that this game outshines all the other games. So you guys might love MKX, you might love MK9, you might even love MK1. The reason I love Mortal Kombat 11 is because of stuff like this. So I'm curious in the comments, do you guys understand what I mean when I say character expression? Not player expression, but character expression. I think that really, that's what made this game so lovable to so many people and sold 15 million copies, because it's like, if you really like the character, whatever character that you like, whether it was a lame character like Jade or a swaggy character like, who's one of the more high execution characters in the game, like high level Shang Tsung play. If it was a character that you loved, you can really develop an attachment to that character because they had so much personality. And I feel that that's where Mortal Kombat 1 dropped the ball. So I'm going to wrap this up because this video is already longer than I wanted it to be. But I thought about this today. When I saw Synicus' tweet, then I saw what Max said, I was like, I absolutely have to talk about this. And I realized it. It's the strings. It's the strings, the character expression, the character identity, the dialogue, the presentation, the universe around these characters as far as the backgrounds and stuff like that. It just all was right there. And that's why I say that this game was made with love, because you really felt that they cared. And when it comes to Mortal Kombat 1, it just feels like a cash grab. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. The next time it's your boy Lou Streets, I'm out. Peace. Where the wall at? Come on. Knew it was coming. Great read. Way to see it.